5 seconds to go. Start. However, the municipality stopped making the statutory contributions, whereafter various orders and notices raising demands as found due from the local body under the Act of 1948 were issued. A speaking order under Section 45A was passed, which was challenged by the local body by filing an application to the Insurance Court under Section 75(1)(g) of the Act of 1948, which rejected the same. The order passed by the Insurance Court was challenged by filing a statutory appeal to the High Court as provided under Section 82 of the Act of 1948. The High Court allowed the appeal, which led to the filing of the special leave petition in this court. After extensive consideration of the material available on record and detailed analysis of the statutory provisions, this court came to a conclusion that the first respondent therein, municipality local body, was running a factory as defined under the Act of 1948. It was also held that the Act of 1948 applies to all factories, including factories belonging to the government other than the seasonal factories. The relevant extracts from the said judgment are reproduced herein below. Considering Section 14 of the Act, it is clear as daylight that the Act is to apply to all factories, including factories belonging to the government other than seasonal factories. A factory is defined under Section 212 as follows. Factory means any premises, including the precincts thereof, whereon 10 or more persons are employed or were employed on any day of the preceding 12 months, and in any part of which a manufacturing process is being carried on or is ordinarily so carried on, but does not include a mine subject to the operation of the Mines Act 1952, 35 of 1952, or a railway running shed. Section 214AA defines manufacturing process. Manufacturing process shall have the meaning assigned to it in the Factories Act 1948, 63 of 1948. In the facts of this case, there is no dispute that the first respondent was running a factory within the meaning of the Act insofar as it is undertaking manufacturing activities within the meaning of the expression manufacturing process as defined in Section 214AA. The proviso to Section 14 undoubtedly operates as an exception to the main provision. In other words, from the generality of factories that stand covered under the Act, the legislature has carved out an inroad by providing that the Act would not apply to the factory which belonged to the government. It also makes it clear that the provisions of the Act will not apply to a factory under the control of the government. This is, however, subject to the further condition in the proviso that the employees of such a factory, which is either owned or controlled by the government, should be otherwise in receipt of benefits substantially similar or superior to the benefits provided under the Act. It is upon satisfaction of these conditions that even a factory which is owned or controlled by the government would stand exempted from the purview of the Act. As far as the facts of this case is concerned, the first respondent does not have the case that the factory in question is a factory which is owned by the government. As far as the question relating to control of the government is concerned, the learned senior counsel for the first respondent has, in fact, upon being queried as to whether he has a case that it is under the control of the government, he does not address us on the issue on the lines that the government controls the factory. Stop.